have arrived at our destination after getting the train, and we are going to go in here by hall 4, I think. So we did think the gates wouldn't be open yet, but there's a few going in there, so we'll be on our way soon. Jason is here and Erwin is here on the phone, so waiting for him to get off.
LAMMA 2026. We're going to start here at the Weidemann stand, and we'll bring you around with us during the day and show you a few things that's new to the market. New on the line is the new 4060. It sort of sits in between the 3080 and the 5080, but new facelift, new bonnet, new controls inside. Will still lift your 2.5 ton 90 horsepower Kohler engine. A nice compact machine for any farmer. So it's on 550, 45, 22.5s. Headstock can be chosen, pin and cone, Euro brackets. You can order what you want. LED lights all around. So the biggest difference between the 3080 and the 5080 and the 4080 previous model is within the cab. So as you can see, there's only one door. Greater visibility. This can open to give in fresh air. Your controls are the same, but you have probably a nicer, you do have a nicer working environment. Here we have the Weidemann 1390, smaller again. No telescopic arm on this machine. Showing off how the cab tilts to one side for ease of accessibility for servicing. So lift about a ton, and it's very compact and narrow. Ideal for those narrow doorways and low sheds.
We're on our first Valtra here in 174. The robots seem to be the big thing for LAMMA this year too. I was just saying to the lads, it'd be nice if we could present all our machines like this around the yard. Just another robot and a flail mulcher. A bit like the flail tech. Swing and hammer flails. And this is 77. 6577. That's a big head. What size of a head is on that yoke? I guess it is nearly close to 6 foot, isn't it?
Up next, we've come across the Red Rock stand, a well-known Irish manufacturer, and we do a lot of tanks for Red Rock, tandem axles, single axles, and across the whole range of stuff: trailers, agitators, sweepers, and as well as that K2 muck spreaders, which we're involved with at the minute. So here we have a 2.5 1,000 gallon tank, just standard, 13,800 litre pump, 800 Alliance tyres, our standard enough spec. A lot of tanks we supply is going with a flexi shoe or a trailing shoe, and the Red Rock tank is bolted onto the chassis, so there's your bolt holes there and your support up here on the top. So then that's leading on to the 4,000 gallon and Agquip's new 10.5 metre trailing shoe. It's the debut of this machine. It's a fine piece of kit, as James O'Kane says. There's a whole lot of gizmos on it, and it'll flow with the ground very good. That's folded up, and whenever you're in the working position, that drops down and it sits an awful lot lower and follows the ground perfectly. Tanks on 30.5 tyres, 750s, curved mud guards. It also has central greasing, 13,800 litre pump as well, and a lazy arm here on the side. And when you buy a lazy arm, you also get a mounting bracket for your pot up here. So if people are wondering how does a lazy arm work, you put this at the mouth of your tank, you'd attach this pipe onto it, let that into your slurry tank, and let your lazy arm down there. And when your lazy arm drops, it will change the hydraulic changeover to fill. So when it comes down, it'll go to fill, and when you want to spread, fold this up, and it'll go to empty. So beside it here we have the Red Rock 20-foot grain and silage trailer, hydraulic rear door, 560 wheels, air and hydraulics, brakes, your pusher at the back for your maze work, so you can, if you get into a soft spot, you can give it a little bit of a push from the rear. We have the 20 cube tandem axle diet feeder. There's 4 doors on this, so this guy wants to feed out every corner or feed out on 2 doors on one side. Standard enough spec, LED lights, you'll have a rear steer. It's sitting on 445 19.5 wheels, but you can get any doors, any amount on your diet feeder. It's just specification of what work you're doing with it. So, but our standard enough spec is 2 doors, one either left or right, but as I said, you can put whatever you want on it. Red Rock purchased K2 back 13 months ago, and here they've changed a few things on them, rebranded it. Still K2, it's K2 machinery now. We have a 15-ton spreader here on the right and a 12-ton spreader here on the left, with your steel extensions up top and your mudguard covers here. You have sprung drawbars on this machine on the right, as you can see, parabolic spring suspension on the drawbar, and your standard solid drawbar there on the left. There's 2 types of these spreaders. There's a vertical beater and a horizontal beater. So the one on the right here has the horizontal beater, and the one on the left here has the vertical beater. So that's the standard beaters you see in Ireland, and if you turn around, they're the beaters there. It's most popular here in the UK. See guys with hand down and stuff like that. With that, it'll throw it down. You can rear down that door, and you can. The bottom disc does the spreading, and the top disc does the chopping. So there's 4 floor chains in the contractor's machine, in the Duo and the Bio, and on this Eco here, it's a farmer spec machine. There's only 2 floor chains, solid bar across the floor of it. As you can see there. Covers across all lights, so when the door goes up, this comes down, the lights don't get covered in any muck. And of course, Red Rock's well-known shear grabs. You have the 85 series, any width. You have the 85 series buckets, You have an 85 series, you have a 100 series, and a 130 series. So 85 series, 850 mil from the ground up. You have a 100 series, 1 metre from the ground up, opening, and then you have a 130 from the ground up. But yeah, and the well-known Red Rock agitators, 3 pumps. You have standard, you have superflow, and you have megaflow. So standard pump 100 horsepower less, superflow 120 horsepower to 150, and your megaflow is 150 horsepower up. 7-8 foot, and you can get 9 foot as well. And right behind you is the new half pipe dump trailer. That's a 20 ton with a hard axe body, 560 wheels, 560/60, 22.5 wheels, and hydraulic brakes, bolt on hitch. A very classy trailer. Next up, McHale. They have a massive stand. I think there's, well, it looks like there's one of every.
Biggest stand. Is that?
Well, it probably is the biggest stand. Yeah. There's the big tether. 10 rotor, 12 metre, and then we have the 6 rotor here behind us. So we do.
Here now.
Huh?
Things.
What do you think of that thing? We had a problem in transmission there. But yeah, the McHale stand is massive. We have the new screens out, and we have 10 inch and 12 inch. That's a 10 inch screen. So that replaces the 7 inch screen. It's slimmer and more clear, and you can have 2 cameras on at one time. And there's a 12 inch screen there. Basically the same as a 10 inch screen, except probably more rugged around the side and bigger. Must be offset. And if you want to run it through Weidemann, that's the way it's safe to come up on the smart touch cameras. So we have here, by the look of a Fusion 4, then a Fusion 4 variable chamber baler, and then a Fusion 4 standard baler here at the end. And not too often you see them as a 998 high-speed square bale wrapper. We have sold a few of these in the past, and we have actually a second-hand one in stock. What it'll do, haulage, silage, you name it, it'll wrap it. But yeah, Fusion 4 standard, it's on 560 wheels. You actually wouldn't know the difference. The new balers coming at 680s, but when you look at the tyre on the baler first glance, you wouldn't actually know the difference between a 680 and a 560 until you looked at the width of it. We have the orbital wrapper here. And we'll get home now in a few minutes. It's just eating it. C460 is the most popular floor chopper in Ireland, but you do have bigger ones. You have a 470. Well, you actually have a smaller one. You have a 430, which is 3-point linkage mounted. You have a 470, and you have a 490, which would be very unusual.
That's taken what, 3 bales?
It is. 3 bales. 470 is just slightly longer than the 460. 470 is twice as long. 490 is twice as long. we'll grab Owen here and he'll Owen's fed and water now, and he's going to give us a rundown through.
Fed, I'm not watered yet now. We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll suit you. We'll suit you up.
Rightly done.
Good show already.
So far so good, yeah, we're just after lunchtime there now and it's definitely busy.
Yeah.
A lot of people going through the stand. They'll always double back around, you know, that kind of way.
No, well,
But yeah, it's been good.
The crowd is building from morning anyway, and that's
good few Irish over, to be fair. So like that's good to see. It is such an easy location to get to. The airport is a short walk away. It's clean, it's dry, it's warm. So yeah, it's been so far so good, to be fair. So yeah, we've a lot on display and a bit of interest as well. So and that's from here and back home. So
yeah, no, well, it's a big show for Irish people to come over because number one, it's free to get in, and number two, you can get here very quick.
Yeah, very quickly, and it's very comfortable. It's clean and dry, and it's a good venue, to be fair, and it's across the water as such. So yeah.
Two things I want to ask you on, and we'll show the people, which they don't see too often, is the variable chamber balers that Ireland is usually fixed chamber, Fusion, 5500, 560, etc. And we'll show the people as well the new axle, the new Terra Drive axle as well. So we're beside the V baler, so I want to give us a run through on them.
You have your V8, your V6s, so we're on second generation as such now, but essentially you have a V8 which is doing up to a 6'3" baler. Okay, so 4 foot wide chamber, 6'3" in height, so anything from 2 foot all the way up to 6'3". That's your V8. You have a 40, a 50 and a 60, different specs, no knives, 15 knives, fully automatic, semi-automatic. More popular again though is our V6 range, so making a 2 foot bale up to 5'6" in height. Okay, so here we on display we have our 50, which is our bread and butter as such. Real popular machine for us in foreign markets, UK and further afield abroad. America, Poland, France, popular for us. And then behind us on the rotator we have our V6 760. That machine is a nice bit of kit, fully loaded, Isobus machine, fully automatic, intelligent chamber, hydraulic bale kicker, just a real high output, easy to use, comfortable machine to drive. A lot of the features you'd see in the Fusions are in that. And there's a lot of overlapping parts across all of them. Profit-flow pickup on the variables as well. But yeah, I suppose as you kind of touched on, Erwin, we do a few in Ireland every year.
Yeah.
Couple. It's getting a bit more interesting all the time. People who want to make a 4 foot bale of silage, maybe but a 5 foot bale of straw, get a bit more into the bale. And it is getting more and more popular each year. I suppose there is an olden days of all the variable chamber balers that were imported into the country.
Fear factor.
That's still at home in Ireland. V6 is definitely for doing the silage, doing the haylage, doing the straw, doing the hay. Some people do V8s, obviously not in silage, doing the 6'3" bale of silage or anything. But whatever they can cope to with their wrapper. But in general, yeah, they're good machines for us. Still, Fusion is the flagship, but they're chasing up the tail as such, but you wouldn't see it at home.
And you just touched on the Profiflow pickup.
Yeah.
Now, the pickup changed on the McHale balers in 23, wasn't
23,
it?
so yeah, September 23 for 24 seasons, so that was when your Fusion came out. You have your Profiflow pickup. Camtrack is standard, camless is the option, 1 tine wider is the camless. You have the same pickup across all F5s, V6s, V8s, Fusions, so that changes across the board for the company. Your camless, I said, is 1 tine wider. You have, I'll probably show you easier on this one, Niamh, your quick attach wheels, okay, so your linch pins are gone, okay, it's nice and easy, you pop out your wheel there when it's off, and again it stores up here on your headstock there, on your rail and handrails. You've tapered feed channel in behind your augers. Your augers are sitting at 45 degree ends. your rotor is forward, your adaptive intake is still there. New style crop roller, springtime crop rollers, keeping the gap nice and small between your two tines, allows a little bit of cross travel, okay. Also larger sprocket on your rotor, okay, as well. So it's just the appetite and the throughput has gotten a lot more appealing for the machine. And like especially on fusions, then that throughput's gone up. The wrapper speed had to come up to match it. So
see, there was lads were complaining that rotor's coming, or that roller here is coming to the full width of the pickup now. The previous two crop rollers that some people see were a little bit short and they were clogging a little bit here on customers' balers. And look at McHale listened and McHale resolved. So
and no more than years ago, we had issues in here.
The famous spot.
Yeah, the spot.
So
we've now that evolved back in 1819 and is now further evolved. And to be fair, this Trophy Flow pickup is getting a lot of good traction.
Yeah.
So no, that's the V's, V6s, V8s. Every year getting a few more. I suppose Ireland, we talk about V6s, V8s, but you could still say right, we're getting to a lot of fusions. The Vario Plus. Your Vario Plus is a V6 750 essentially, or a V6 760 when you think about the automatic side of things. It's a V6 inside in the chassis. Okay, yes, you now have your typical Fusion 4 Plus has your transfer and your chamber built in together. Your Vario Plus will be a V6 chamber, slightly at an angle, a transfer cradle to seesaw it from the baler onto the wrapper. But you've got a lot of similar components between your normal Fusions already and your V6s now here today. And they're a machine that if the market ever started being sold by the weight and not by the bale, your variable chamber balers will become very important. So yeah, that's all
that's
a challenge for you now.
That's a challenge for you.
Get a few V6s sold.
We'll jump across now to the baler with the Terra drive axle, and it'll not take him long to stripe it.
Terra drive axle, you've seen it first at the ploughing, and you've seen it at Agritechnica.
So it has been out testing last year.
Has been out testing here. We have a couple in the north. We have one over in Clare as well testing. All received pretty well, and customers are very happy. We have a good few in Norway that were tested now for the last summer, and essentially you have a hydraulic driven axle, okay, hydraulic oil going to each motor on each hub, ran through your isobus, ran through your load sensing. If you're in a perfect field and you don't need it, perfect, you don't need that on. When you go into the field and you need it, you turn it on and it detects when you've dropped below 7 kilometers an hour. Okay, let's kick on a bit, I need to be pushed on. Or when you get above 10, this guy is going okay baling, it doesn't need the help anymore. Designed for a bit of wet spots, designed for hilly conditions. As I said, it's doing well in Norway. We can see good interest in New Zealand and Austria, and there will be the odd part of Ireland that will want it.
No, we have actually a few of them sold for this year coming, so we'll know for ourselves.
They're sitting on a 710 tyre. Okay, it's actually something I want to show you in the far side. 710 tyre, V series tyre. When you just look down along your Fusion, it's actually not as wide as your traditional 710 would be. Okay, so the imprint of it, the dish is offset, so you're sitting quite further in. So when you think about the 650s, I know you probably sold a lot of 560s, 650s, 680s now coming in. It's not exactly a whole pile different when you look down along your Fusion.
You can only put 710s on that.
You can only put 710s on that machine. It's air and hydraulic brakes, though. Remember, so it is fairly well equipped. And as I said, it's all load sensing, all done through isobus. When you stop on the swart to bind, it stops, doesn't shove you on. When you go into reverse, it disengages. When you go on the road and you're gone above the 10k, it disengages also. So there's a bit of thinking to it.
There's no extra pipe work. Put it into your normal 3 pipes here, load sense and your feed return and your leak back. and you hit a button on and off on your control box.
Yeah, simple
That's
as.
basically it.
Simple as, yeah. The hose is all teed off your valve chest there separately. There's nothing to worry about in your tractor size. You need a little bit more oil flow, alright, from your tractors, but the way tractors are going nowadays, the litre capacity there is definitely well up with it.
If you're working in hilly conditions or wet ground, that axle is worth an extra baler for you, because a lot of the time, a lot of guys wouldn't bring that fusion into hilly ground or into a wet spot. They'll go and get their second or standard baler and their wrapper, so that will resolve that problem.
Yeah, and that's the kind of customer that's looking at it. I kind of have a baler and a wrapper in the back of the shed for doing 2 odd jobs a year, and might make my life a little easier. Apologies. So yeah, that's the Terra drive, and so far been well received. To be fair, now there will be some pockets of countries that are more suited to it, and more countries that are suited to it rather than some other places. But it's not for everyone.
No.
But it definitely is something different to talk about. And look, that's what we're trying to be as well, bring something a little different to the table with fusions, with baler and wrapping. Keep adding to it.
Oh, yeah. Thanks very much, Owen.
Thanks yourselves.
And
It's always good to see you at a show.
Best
Getting
of
out and
luck with
about.
the rest of the show.
And thanks for all your support.
We'll be seeing you again.
No doubt. Thanks, guys.